ancestors aren't stalkers. They're just there when you need them. Hi, I'm Elemi from Yeyeo Botanica. Welcome back. So great to see you all. Thank you for sharing us and coming back. And if this is your first time, welcome, welcome, welcome. Remember, we're www.Yeyeo, and we're a spiritual and wellness supplier, which is why I do videos about all things spiritual. And I'm Elemi. I want to shout out. All my people from St. Lucia! Woohoo! Welcome! Today, we're going to talk about the ancestors. You all know I love to talk about the ancestors because we all have them. Unless you're an alien, of course. But, of course, today we want to talk about the ancestors, and I want to share some of their little tidbits with you because I see these questions and hear these questions all the time, and I want to share them with you. So today we're going to talk about what are the ancestors doing when they're not hanging around with you. Let's get started. So I was thinking the other day about ancestors, and many of you know I do a lot of ancestral work. I contact them, give messages, in regressions people see them, and so on and so forth. But one of the questions that comes up so often when reading people or doing this kind of work is, are they following me everywhere, right? And no, they're not. I wish I could tell you that they were following you everywhere. They're not. Why? Because you're not the only ancestor. You're not the only person who's alive. And so there are other people in the family that they go to look for. But I'm going to get into that a little bit more in another video. But today, one of the things that happens when the ancestors pass on, or people pass, and they have elevated to the level of an ancestor, because sometimes people think that as soon as people pass away, they become an ancestor. Theoretically, yes, but in a spirit world, it takes time for them to transform to get to that place where they get that check, so to speak. And so one of the things that happens when people first pass on is that they get their directives. What does that mean? Well, I'm not on that side, but they've all told me they get their directives, what they're supposed to be doing, right? Who they're supposed to be helping. How are they supposed to transform? What do they need to do and work on as a person who is now on the other side? And so in many different religious sects, we hear about, oh, there's a day of reckoning, you need to speak and say what you've achieved, or pay your penance, and so on and so forth. And I guess you would say that that's a part of the whole get your directives thing. But they do have their directives as to who they look out for. What are they supposed to do? How are they supposed to transform? What is the problem that they need to cure, right? Then the next thing is that they're welcomed into their egbe. And I just want to pause here for a second. The word egbe is a Yoruba word that really speaks to our heavenly family, our heavenly comrades, people who have looked out for us on the other side, including family members. So, for example, let's say you have a mother-in-law or father-in-law in the church, or you've got an auntie that is maybe your parents' friend, but maybe not a blood relative, but they look for you. They've always looked for you, looked for the best for you, and so on. They then, when they pass away, can be a part of your egbe. And so the word egbe is a Yoruba word, but it's still collective for everyone. Everyone has an egbe on the other side, including their ancestors. Some people would say that spirit guides can be a part of your egbe as well. So they're welcomed into that whole fraternity of people who've passed on that are checking for you, right? Then we have heal thyself, right? One of their directives is to heal where they are in their transformation phase. Example, you all know I love to give examples. So if someone passed away, let's say from illness, and they weren't ready to pass, they need to heal that. They need to heal the letting go of the body, right? They need to let go of the family, their loved ones, in a way that really heals them. Or if when they passed away, there was some crisis that was going on and they feel very tormented about it, again, that's something that they need to heal. But coupled with that healing for themselves is now the next thing that they need to do, the fourth thing they need to do, which is to now go back and heal the family. Go back and check on the first people that the ancestors are always most interested in is their children, their grandchildren, their spouses, their love relationships. Those are the first people that they're looking to help and to uplift, to empower, whether it be in their daily lives, help them to find a job, help them to mend any kinds of issues that they may have. That is that's a part of the directives in their journey of transformation. And so just want to pause here for a moment because, you know, I've got some sweet things along the way. I love this spirit spray. This is wonderful. You can spray it around in your sacred space, at your altar, spray yourself before you go to bed or before you do make prayer, right? This is wonderful to use with the ancestors. It has frankincense, lavender, basil, all of these essential oils here. I love it. And see, you can just spray it instead sometimes of burning incense. There are all different kinds of candles and things like that that you can use for the ancestors. I particularly really like this Holy Spirit candle, and my ancestors actually really like it. It's really wonderful to kind of get everyone together, like if you're doing a special holiday, if you're making a special offering with a candle for someone's passing or their birthday, something like that. This candle is wonderful for the ancestors for so many different purposes. And it has a prayer on the side in Spanish and in English. So I have talked about this quite a bit about enlightened and unenlightened spirits. And quite a few of you have said that you'd love to see a video on that. And I've recorded it. But I want to see your comments to see if you're interested in learning about enlightened and unenlightened spirits. There are categories of ancestors that are enlightened and unenlightened, and then just spirits in general that are around people. So definitely comment below for that. And if you've been enjoying this video, definitely give me a thumbs up. So appreciate it. Then the last thing that I want to share with you today is to make amends, right? One of the things that the ancestors or people in general who migrate to being ancestors, yourself, myself, when we pass on, is to amend or anything that is out of place. So let's say if a person didn't live such a nice life, weren't such a nice person, did some bad things, murder, pedophilia, anything like that, they're coming back. Trust me, one of their directives is to make amends, right? And so remember that the ancestors, when we talk about them in the big picture, they are of light. They're in a state of freedom and they're of light. We're not talking about unenlightened energies or unenlightened ancestors. Overall, we're talking about people who are enlightened, but in the world of the non-living, it's all freedom. And so they have the freedom to do all these different things to help to empower us, to help our lives, to help us with our happiness, our money, our children, breakthroughs, employment. The list goes on and on. So I hope today you got some ideas about all the things that people do when they pass on, when they have become our ancestors, that they have their own spiritual journey that they're on, and it doesn't always include us every day. So I hope you enjoyed that. Definitely share me with others. Give us a thumbs up and hit the bell for notifications. And see you next time. Ashe, ashe, ashe.